Hi, welcome to Virtual Learning with Miss M. Welcome Biomed students. This week we're going to look at the heart at work, more specifically focusing on heart diagnostics. This week we're going to focus on heart rate. Even before you were born, one of the first things your doctor did when you went in for an office visit was listen to your heart rate using a stethoscope. Your heart rate is the number of times your heart beats per minute. Your heart sound is the result of blood moving through the organ of the heart. The rhythm of the heartbeat, as well as the heart rate, provides clues to the general health of the individual. Think back when we first learned about the anatomy of the heart. Changes in the heart rate influences the amount of blood that is pumped to the tissues. A high heart rate means that the heart has to work overtime to meet the oxygen demands of the body. If the heart rate dips too low, the body may not get enough oxygen to do its daily functions. So let's talk numbers. When I say beats per minute, you're going to see that on paper as BPM. So again, when we talk about heart rate, you're going to see it in units of BPM, beats per minute. But what can you predict is your normal resting heart rate? What would my normal resting heart rate be? Ideas? So the answer is your normal resting heart rate for an individual is approximately 60 to 80 beats per minute. What that basically means, in 1 minute, your heart is pumping 60 to 80 times, just pumping that blood through your body. So I have facts to share with you. Is elite athletes, Olympians, marathoners, the Ironman, I think that's Ironman, they exercise all the time. And they're what we call elite athletes. Their resting heart rate can go as low as 40 beats per minute. It's crazy. It's super low. But there's a scientific explanation for it. And it's what we call stroke volume. So what is stroke volume? Stroke volume is the amount of blood ejected from the heart per minute. So that means from the pulmonary side of the heart, it's ejecting blood to the lungs. On the left side, it's ejecting oxygenated blood to the rest of your body. Well, elite athletes can do that very productively with the less amount of time because they are shooting out so much blood per minute than compared to just an average Joe. So for instance, elite athletes right here, per 1 minute, we can estimate that their heart is pumping out 60 milliliters of blood per minute. That's a lot, but it's just a number to kind of give you an idea. While a non-athlete, an average Joe, maybe per minute, their stroke volume of how much blood the heart is able to pump out per minute, maybe it's only 20 milliliters per minute. So, which heart has to work harder? If you said the non-elite, that is true. But it doesn't mean they're unhealthy. It just means that in comparisons to the elite athlete, they are more productive at pushing blood out per minute because they pump out so much. So where can you find your heart rate? There's two very common places where you can find your heart rate, and they are on your neck and on your wrist. So I want to help you find it. So when you're finding your heart rate, you want to make sure you are using your pointer and your middle finger together. Never use your thumb because your thumb has its own heart rate as well. So if you take your pointer finger and index finger, and you're going to start on your ear, and if you slowly just go down, you can feel it pumping. Do you feel it? There it is. This artery right here is what we call the carotid artery. The carotid artery. So the second place where you can find your heart rate is, yes, on your wrist. The artery that's in your wrist is what we call the radial artery. The radial artery. Most students have problems finding the radial artery just because it's a tad bit smaller than the carotid artery on your neck, but not impossible. So I'm going to stand up for this so you guys can see what I'm doing, but you should still be sitting. So on your wrist, on your thumb side, you're going to take your pointer and your middle finger together, and you're going to go on your thumb, and you're going to kind of slide down. Once you meet the flesh of your wrist, put more pressure and keep sliding, and you should start to feel the heartbeat. That's your radial artery. I hope the heart rate lesson was a good one and informative. I hope y'all were able to find your carotid and radial artery. I hope that you understand the difference between resting heart rate and active heart rate. So, what I would like for you to do this week is to work on Heart at Work 4.2 Day 1 stuff. All about heart rate. Until next time, bye!